A young woman with a house full of children came before Rabbi Yashiv Zechreinu Levracha to ask him an agonizing question. Her husband was very, very sick, and the doctors in Eretz Yisrael said that there was nothing they could do for him anymore. However, they did say that in the United States of America, there was some of the large hospitals that perhaps could have some type of treatment that maybe, just maybe, could save his life. And the question that she put before Rabbi Yashiv is, should she travel with her husband to the United States for the experimental treatment that may save his life, but at the same time the travel may end his life quicker, or should they stay in Eretz Yisrael and should he end off his life together with his family? This is the agonizing question that she shared with Rabbi Yashiv, and she shared all the medical details. Rabbi Yashiv thought it through carefully, and Rabbi Yashiv says, I don't think you should go to the United States. Your husband should stay here with you, with the children, with the family. And the woman began to cry bitterly. And she cried, and she cried, and she cried. When she had no more tears, she looked up at Rabbi Yashiv and she said, Rebbe, tell me something. When I walk my children down the chuppah in a bunch of years from now, and they look at me and they say, listen, we're only walking down with one parent, will I be able to look them in the eye and say to them, I did everything that I could to try to save your father, but the Rebbeinu Shalom didn't want it? Am I going to be able to say that with clarity and conviction? You're telling me not to go to the United States. Am I going to be able to tell that to my children with a clear conscience? Rabbi Yashiv thought some more and he says, no, you won't. Take your husband to the United States, and hopefully the Rebbe Shalom will send her refuah shalema. She took her husband to the United States. He recovered, and he lived many more years, and he was able to walk his children down the chuppah. One of the Talmidim of Rabbi Yashiv said to him, Rebbe, I don't understand. Initially you paskin that she shouldn't go to the United States. And then you said she should, and then he survived. Rebbe, how could you have said originally she shouldn't go to the United States? That would have been a death sentence. I don't understand, Rebbe. Rabbi Yashiv wisely responded. He said, when the woman came to ask me a shayla pi halacha, it wasn't a shayla. He was a person that was going to die, and going to the United States would not have made anything better, perhaps just worse. So what happened, Rebbe? Why did you change your mind? He said, when the woman began to cry, the deepest sobs, tears from the depths of her soul, and then she looked at me and she said to me, Rebbe, what should I tell my children? The gates of tears are never closed. Al pi derech hateva, by the laws of nature, there was no way to save this man. But the tears of a Yiddish mama, the tears of a Yiddish neshama, those could change every drop of nature. The supernatural could become natural, the miraculous could become the reality. Once she cried, that changed anything. And I said, go and do it, and look. He had an incredible nace, an amazing refuah shalema. Every year on Tisha B'av, we ask ourselves the same question. The Rebbeinu Shalom didn't bring Mashiach in the days of the Chafetz Chaim. The Vilna Gaon could not bring Mashiach. The Rambam and Rashi and the Rabbanan Savroi and the Gaonim, the Tanoim, Amoraim couldn't bring Mashiach. And we're going to bring Mashiach naturally? Is that even possible? And the Teretz says that no, it's not possible to bring Mashiach al pi derech hateva. By laws of nature, there's no way we could have Mashiach. We don't deserve it. If they didn't deserve it, we certainly don't deserve it. However, as Rabbi Yashiv said, the Sharei Demais, the gates of tears, could unlock even the greatest fortresses in Shamayim. And if this Tisha B'av, we could look into the recesses of our neshamas, and we could get ourselves to be emotionally moved. We could cry, and sadly this year the Rebbeinu Shalom made it easier with the horrors of Miron, the terrible bleacher collapse in Eretz Yisrael, and sadly the tower collapsing in Florida. Who can't cry this year on Tisha B'av? So we beg you and we plead with you, Acheinu B'nai Yisrael, move yourself to tears. Realize the tsar of Klal Yisrael. Realize the tsar of Shechina. And Be'ezer Hashem, those tears will go directly to the Kisei HaKavod and break through every barrier. They'll break through every lock. And Be'ezer Hashem, the Rebbeinu Shalom will say, this year, the supernatural, the miraculous will become part of us, and the Rebbeinu Shalom will turn us around, and Tisha B'av will become the greatest Moed. Tisha B'av will become the greatest Yantiv. We have it in our power. Let's finally make it happen.